And I'm going to not play the C, but only one reason. I'm just going to start here because it's a little bit further away from that. I'll start here on the G, and we have this inversion of C. And I'll put the E here. Now, I'm trying to give you ideas for licks at the same time I show you the use of inversions. Because sometimes that's what we're looking for. We're trying to find out how to sound better and how have more depth. But it's so oftentimes it's just something very simple that a pianist figured out and likes. And so then you hear it and you're like, wow, what was that? But it turns out to be something very simple, just maybe like this chord here. And then you could go to here, you could go up to F. And it sounds like a written line. It has good quality, quote unquote, classical movement or voice leading. We could be like this. And then I'm going to go to my A on the F. Here I'm going to go my third because all of those I did on the, I'm going on my fifth because all of those I started on the fifth. The C7, I started on the fifth. The F7, I was starting on the fifth. So on the G7, I'm going to start on my fifth. Then I'm going to go to the F. And then I'm going to go to the C. Now remember, if you see something and I say the fifth and it was the third, put it in the comments so somebody else will come along and not get burned with some bad theory. Because again, I'm not editing this as I go and I'm just trying to do it like I have someone in the room with me, and a lot of times they would catch it or I would catch it. That one I did catch. But it's really, I'm doing my best here, but please make sure if I miss something, put it in the comments. So here we were doing something cool. Now this is why you hear things that sound, really neat when you play the blues. People work these motifs or these licks really well. I think of the George Harrison thing on the Beatles did. Because You're Sweet and Lovely. I can't think of the name of the blues now, but it goes something like this. Chord tones. Oops. So to play that, we had to do a passing tone. So I may be getting ahead of myself, but my point is to share with you all these amazing options, okay? So now if I just go to chord tones again, might have noticed, I would have to rewind the tape to see exactly what I did, but what happened there, when I got to the 7th on the G, that's what I did, I stayed right there because it's a chord tone. So it's really cool because this is the F. I can lean on that because the next chord is F, and I can bring that into the next place. Guitar players do this so well, horn players, because they can sustain these notes for over measures, but pianists can do it too. It's a great rhythmic idea. You could even go. So that's some of the things you can do with the guide tones. Now notice that my rhythm is always quarter notes. This is something I always do because it helps develop your two-handed playing. Okay, so the last thing I'll say in this video, we're going to do several things on guide tones, but I want to keep it short so you can stay organized. So our C7 is here, our F7 is here, our G7 is here. And then we're doing quarter notes in the form like we were doing with the other chords. So notice we're not going to graduate from a C7 in root position, because it sounds good, and so I'm not going to get so good and so deep and so amazing that I don't need my boring old C7. You know, this is going to be with me forever, and it is. So I've been playing this all my life in a C7 like this. Oops, sorry, that was a blue note, but it's going to the 4 chord. I've got to be careful here. So I'm going in order, by the way. There is a blues scale. There are lots of scales. I'm going to lay all of those out. But I want you to be able to do what I'm doing. I want you to have what I have. So building slowly and getting this vocabulary into your hands is a great way to go. So let me go one more time, and then we'll move to the next video. These are really cool little ideas. And the nice thing about the key of C, of course, is it feels exactly the same. Look at that hand position right there. I can just keep my hand locked and go right there, and it's the same thing. So this is thumb on the 5th. Then if I go to G, and then I have to jump down to get that to my C, which is no problem there because I'm holding everything together with my left hand in the economy of motion. So my G7, so, you know, the idea of blending these together, this is where economy of motion happens, and then this is where the freedom starts. And I also want to suggest you could put a metronome on, and it'll really, really help you a lot. So that would be the thing to think about with these guys, okay? And then we'll come back with another video and add on.